Fractions are a key part of math, but they can also be one of the most difficult topics to learn. The rules for working with fractions can seem random or confusing, making it hard to remember and use them the right way. However, when students understand the reasons behind these rules, they're more likely to use them correctly and build strong math skills. Let's start with a question. Why do we need common denominators when adding or subtracting fractions? A typical answer might be, you need to have a common denominator to create equivalent fractions, otherwise your answer will be incorrect. But this kind of answer doesn't really explain why we need common denominators. And if we don't understand why, students are less likely to remember the rule or use it correctly. We've asked this question to hundreds of teachers, and one answer was particularly useful for helping understand the idea better. Here's what they said. Fractions represent equal partitions of one whole. The denominator tells you how many equal parts make up that one whole, and the numerator tells you how many of those parts you have. To add fractions like 1/2 and 1/4, you need to be working with the same sized pieces. That's why we find a common denominator, so that we're combining like parts. By visually seeing that we're combining equal sized parts, the need for a common denominator becomes much more clear. To solve this problem easily, we need to find a common unit. Let's split each rectangle into equal pieces of the common denominator, in this case 12. Now that the highlighted sections are the same size, we can easily add them. Just like when we find the common denominator, we simply add the numerators together, 3/12 plus 4/12. Being able to see the visual model of how finding the common denominator works when adding fractions makes it a lot easier for students to understand, and they're more likely to use the correct operation. To learn more about this work, check the link to the study in the description below.